technically I still had a bed, but because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I was the one having trouble sleeping. The noisy machine, her constant tossing and turning. I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote. Now I'm back in bed with my wife and our 100-pound lab. Good boy.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
It's really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair Water Specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Collier County residents, are you prepared for hurricane season? Get ready by bringing hazardous waste to a recycling drop-off center. Hurricane season has arrived, and the Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Division is here to help you prepare. Protect your home, family, and the environment from dangerous hazardous waste. Bring items like paint, gasoline, and batteries to a recycling center for environmentally safe disposal. Be prepared by cleaning out your home, yard, and garage. Bring items like propane tanks, oil, and electronics to a recycling center near you. Visit one of Collier County's recycling centers located in Naples, Marco Island, North Collier, northeast of Immokalee, and at the landfill. Recycling centers are open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. While you can drop off most items for free, small fees may apply for certain items. For more information on our rates and material accepted, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycles or call 252-7575. That's 252-7575. Be prepared for hurricane season by bringing your hazardous waste to a recycling center near you.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing and Gutters. Get your mind out of the gutters. We are proud to announce the addition of our seamless aluminum gutter division. Contact our team for your free quote. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Hurricane season is here, and there's a lot we need to do to prepare our homes. It's important not to forget about electrical safety. From generators to surge protectors, Mr. Sparky is here for you before, during, and after the storm to provide the best in electrical care. Give us a call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in their respective state or county.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has three he's. I hope it's streaming today. I just heard that there were some streaming issues, so I don't know. How is it? Jake will find out whether or not it's working properly. How many of you had a chance to see the former president in Sarasota? A couple of things about that. First of all, Donald Trump Jr. Had a pretty funny moment when he was talking about, and we talked about it on Friday. And do you remember that there was that tweet out where the Biden administration and the White House, they put out how everybody's excited because of the money you're saving this 4th of July as compared to the last. And I forget the percentage that they said that you were saving, but it turned out to be when you put all the things together that they do. What is it? Ground beef and I forget all the different beans and salads and all the foods that you would eat at a barbecue, and you put it all together. It turns out that the money you're saving is 16 cents. And this was what they were all excited about. You're saving 16 cents. And so Donald Trump Jr. was there in Sarasota, and he said,
the Biden economy is doing wonderfully. You will save a cumulative 16 cents on your barbecue. Right? 16 cents for your whole family. That's great. As long as you don't have to drive to the end of your driveway.
He's right.
In which case, the extra $1 per gallon of fuel will eat up that 16 cents, right?
How many times have you said that, right? How we joked about, I've joked about this with my family for the longest time, where my dad would get super excited because he would hear that 20 miles down the road or something, there was a gas station that was 5 cents less per gallon than where he was. And so he's like, I got to drive to that station to fill up. And then, trying to figure out, well, wait a minute. If you go all the way out of your way to save 3, 4, 5 cents a gallon, how long is it taking for you to get there? How much gas does it take to get there and back? And so he was making that point. That's pretty funny that, ultimately, if you're saving 16 cents, don't start the car up. Hopefully you purchased all of that. Yeah, you know how that works. All right. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. All right, here you go. Let's play a little bit of this because people have been talking about it. Sure. The former president of the United States in Sarasota had a nice crowd over the weekend. If you had a chance to see and witness for yourself, certainly there are more than a few people that still support the policies, the ideas of the former president, and are willing to show up to show support. And what about some of that support? And what about some of the things that he had to say? Well, let's talk about this in particular. Here's something that he talked about when it comes to defunding the police.
They say it over and over. And so now they're getting killed by the defund the police, which they're doing, by the way. But they're getting absolutely killed. So all of a sudden, they said today, I heard, and there's a word, disinformation. It's called if you say it enough and keep saying it, just keep saying it, they'll start to believe you. We can't let that happen. Because now they're saying the Republicans wanted to defund the police. I said, I heard it for the first time. I said, did I hear that wrong? Please play that over again. Nowadays we can actually play things over again. I said, play it over again. It was the Republicans' fault. It is such a disaster what these people do. It's disinformation. They say it again and again and again.
I mean, he's right. They're talking about now, and Jen Psaki, the ridiculous notion, and the White House and others who are picking up on this ridiculous notion that it's Republicans who want to defund the police, and nobody is buying this, especially on the heels of the Washington Free Beacon and something that we played last week, the audio of all the Democrats who constantly were talking about defunding the police for the longest time, right?
The LA City Council has taken its first step in defunding the LAPD. Today, the council voted to cut the budget by $150 million.
Run by Democrats.
Can we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes.
I do believe that we need to reallocate resources away.
So yes, defund your butts.
The city council passed the New York City budget, which includes redistributing $1 billion from the NYPD budget.
Yes, I support the reallocation of resources from NYPD.
We have to reimagine public safety.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Yeah, that's not Republicans saying all. That's all Democrats, Democrat cities, Democrat mayors, Democrat politicians. Everybody knows it, right? So that notion is ridiculous. And the former president is right. It's disinformation. They're going to continue to say this over and over and over again. They're going to gaslight you into believing that that's the case. The problem is it's not going to work because we do have the interwebs, Al Gore's famous interwebs that we can always go back to and see the video and hear the audio like you just did. The Washington Post ABC News poll released on Friday that how Biden's handling crime in the country, like I talked about. Biden is rated poorly on handling crime. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. And going into the 2020 midterm elections, this is where the vulnerability is more than just about any other place. Maybe education is the other side of it. With the news about critical race theory and how the biggest teachers union in the country, the NEA, is now saying, oh, yeah, we want these teachers teaching critical race theory, and we're willing to spend money. Of course, it's, willing to spend money to make sure that if you disagree with it, that we're going to shut you down, where some of us would say, bring it, because we're not going away. But besides that, this is really one of the issues that maybe a poll won't tell you what the American people think when it comes to crime and what they're hearing about and what they're seeing. Maybe they won't say it in a poll. They'll say other things. They'll say the economy, jobs. They'll talk about all the things that are tangible to them at that moment. Crime may not be number one, but if you live in a city, and most people in major metropolitan cities run by Democrats see this and know this and see some of the crime that is increasing in certain places, that it is tangible to them, you'll see that at the top of the list. But I really do believe that when we have heard over and over again about defunding the police departments, and everybody knows who's talking about doing it, the Democrats see that as well. They see what's going on. They see the numbers that are out there. They see what is happening across the country. And this is why all of a sudden there has been some change on certain issues. The defund the police is not changing for them. They just want you to believe it's Republicans that are doing it. Where on the other side, you have Democrats who are starting to say things like voter ID. We never said anything that we didn't want voter ID. We're for voter ID. Of course, they're for voter ID when they can try to make the pitch that they're for it. Of course, there's also the Al Gore famous interwebs that would show how they have talked about that as well. But the point is that they see the polling. They see where all of this is heading, and they're trying to figure out a way to spin it, but yet still keep their core, which is they want to defund the police, which is when it comes to voter ID, they want to say everything bad about it. It's racist. It's Jim Crow 2.0. It's the things that are going on in places like Florida and Georgia and Arizona and the changes in election laws. And they also see the polls. And so they're all for voter ID as long as their version of voter ID is the version. In other words, maybe they're not so up on the idea of photo ID. Well, listen, if you show something where you live, maybe you show it a utility bill. Yeah, that's okay with us. That's a voter ID, right? That's cool. Almost as if the one thing or the few things that could be easily manipulated are the ones that they're for, because you keep that voter ID idea intact. The ones that may be a little more secure, like, hey, can I see a photo of you and then see some identification that shows me that the photo, that's going too far. I'm just making that suggestion. But again, I said it before, and I really honestly believe that crime and education is going to be something that will be front and center in 2022. That people will look and see and talk about as a huge issue, especially considering, and I want to get these numbers right, because this is something that, gosh, where is it? I want to make sure I have it. And like I said, I have it right. Okay, there you go. According to, is this right? Isn't that the Chicago Sun-Times? According to the Chicago Sun-Times, at least 88 people were shot and 14 people were killed in Chicago since Friday night. Can I say that again? Can you wrap your head around those numbers? 88 people shot, 14 killed in Chicago since Friday night. But you have a Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, who is insisting to people, that there's nothing to see here, move along. The city is not out of control. Crime is on the decline. Everything is fine, move along. And how long can you continue to ignore that? How long can you do it? How long can you make the case that you're a party that's tough on crime, or you honestly, truly do care about crime in major metropolitan cities, and then you don't do anything about it? I'm just telling you that that's going to be something that will be front and center 2022. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, when we come back, we keep an eye on Elsa, obviously, Tropical Storm Elsa. We'll get updates in just a few more minutes. Right now, you're not feeling a lot of the effects, but this afternoon you certainly will. 30 to 45 mile an hour winds on the coast, maybe gusts 45 to 65 inland. You might see 15 to 30 mile an hour gusts, 1 to 4 feet at high tide. That will be the surge. So keeping an eye on that, and some of the other impacts will be certainly the rain, 1 to 4 inches, probably isolated 4+ in certain areas around Southwest Florida. There will be areas that will have beach erosion, high surf, and just keeping an eye on the storm as it gradually makes its way closer to Southwest Florida. We'll do that more coming up. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Are we ready to do? Can we do this? Yeah. Okay. Good. We'll get an update on the weather in just a second, but first, let's find out what's happening with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Tuesday morning. Still watching a northbound closure along Alico Road right off the Corkscrew Road intersection east of I-75. Avoid the area. There was a deadly crash there overnight, and the road's been blocked off for about the past 5 or so hours, so you'll want to avoid that scene right now as the investigation is ongoing. In Collier County, we have a disabled vehicle blocking part of Airport Road at Golden Gate Parkway on the westbound on-ramp. Watch out for some slight delays around that area. Otherwise, looking good along 75. A very slick commute, though, out on the East Trail, heading through East Naples and toward 951 Collier Boulevard on and off of Marco Island. Just take it slow out there with Elsa coming our way. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
With Elsa set to remain offshore of Southwest Florida today, look out for tropical storm force conditions, especially across the coastal zones today. Gusty winds, storm surge, along with heavy rain, all being an issue, along with potential to see some isolated tornadoes as we head into tonight. Things calm down for your Wednesday with scattered storms returning to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients? For you, it means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Listen up, vehicle owners. Waiting to sell your vehicle can cost you thousands of dollars. If you have a car, truck, SUV, or van, Sutherland buys it. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com right now. It's Florida's newest and easiest way to sell or trade your vehicle. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral are Florida's #1 dealer. And right now, we're paying 130% book value for your vehicle. Sell your car today. No matter if it's a current loan, lease, or paid off, Sutherland buys it. No matter the make, model, or mileage, Sutherland buys it. No matter when or where you bought it, Sutherland buys it. You could drive a newer, nicer car for less than you're paying now. Log on to SutherlandBuysIt.com. Get an offer for your vehicle right now. Waiting can cost you thousands. Sutherland is paying 130% book value today. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com.
See dealer for details. Psst. I'm about to say a dirty word. A really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy and an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at
could save you on taxes down the road. Call Bob and his team today and schedule your complimentary 401k review at 239-249-8888. Bob Grace is ready to assist you. Call today for your complimentary 401k retirement review, 239-249-8888. Again, that's 239-249-8888. The firm offers insurance services and cannot provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. Hope you had a great Independence Day weekend. And not everybody apparently did, only because of the way that some people have been describing the weekend as, well, let's just put it this way, not exactly in the most positive light. I guess the good news is that ultimately there wasn't any kind of talk about, and I don't know if anybody heard it or had a chance to witness it, but at least there was nothing that was discussed about possibly doing like a second national anthem or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't
breaking news.
A bombshell. Oh, this just in. Did they? Was there? Vanessa Williams, did she sing the Black National Anthem for the Capitol 4th celebration? Is that right? That was the talk from the Hill. And yeah, so that was out. We've got one already, and why that's even part of the discussion now, and well, we'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Also, there's some big critical race theory news we're going to get to in just a bit as well. So stay there. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
When was the last time you checked in on
liability or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Saturday, July 10th in downtown Fort Myers, join the huge America First Rally. Featured speakers include Florida's conservative journalist Brendan Leslie, editor-in-chief of Unbossed Reporting, plus Brian Gamble of the Red Pill Roadshow, conservative influencer Frank Valentine, and Michael Thompson, chairman of the Florida Conservative PC. It will be the culmination of 5 different Trump-trained caravans. For caravan information, go to thefloridaconservative.com.
Paid for and approved by the Florida Conservative PC, 133 Harbor Drive, Venice, Florida 34285.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Elsa is closing in on the Florida Keys. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Overall, there was not a huge sense of emergency for this storm.
A tropical storm with top sustained winds of 60 miles an hour.
Monroe County here did not board up its buildings. We talked to a business owner or two that decided to board up, but in general, a lot of people here were not heavily concerned about this.
Fox's Matt Finn in Key West says some tourists who wanted to leave had a hard time getting a car or a flight. Elsa could get a bit stronger moving into the Gulf, projected to hit Florida's central west coast tomorrow, then cross the state and move up the east coast, possibly hitting New Jersey up to New England Friday into Saturday. Now to Surfside, Florida.
Operations seem to be moving much faster and will continue 24 hours a day for the indefinite future until everybody's pulled out of that site.
Mayor Charles Burkett, 4 more bodies were found in the collapsed condo rubble. It's up to 28 people dead, 117 still missing. Police officers recovering in Houston after being shot responding to a parking dispute. The suspected gunman is in custody. There are some frayed nerves in Afghanistan as the Taliban takes over more areas and U.S. troops keep leaving in a withdrawal that'll be complete in 2 months. Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
And Dave, days after the U.S. left the massive Bagram airfield near Kabul, the new Afghan commander at the base says American forces evacuated without notifying him.
We received some rumor that the Americans left the Bagram.
Instead, General Mir Asadullah Koistani says the U.S. shut off the power and slipped away in the night.
By 7 o'clock morning, we understood that it was confirmed that they are already left the Bagram.
The U.S. military insists its Bagram departure last Friday was coordinated with Afghan leaders. Dave?
Simon, the leader of an Iran-backed militia in Iraq, says they're planning to retaliate after last month's deadly U.S. airstrike. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Still watching a northbound closure along Alico Road right off the Corkscrew Road intersection east of I-75. Avoid the area. There was a deadly crash there overnight, and the road's been blocked off for about the past 5 or so hours, so you'll want to avoid that scene right now as the investigation is ongoing. In Collier County, we have a disabled vehicle blocking part of Airport Road at Golden Gate Parkway on the westbound on-ramp. Watch out for some slight delays around that area. Otherwise, looking good along 75. A very slick commute, though, out on the East Trail, heading through East Naples and toward 951 Collier Boulevard on and off of Marco Island. Just take it slow out there with Elsa coming our way. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for tropical storm conditions today, with Elsa set to remain just offshore of southwest Florida. Gusty winds with wind gusts, especially across the coast, between about 45 to 65 miles per hour. We're also going to be looking out for the threat of storm surge, with the storm surge warning in effect for Charlotte and Lee County, those coastal zones. Storm surge between 2 to 4 feet will be possible. Also look for a threat for some isolated tornadoes as those outer bands move in, packing some heavy rain with 1 to 4 inches possible in locally heavier spots. Things begin to wind down as we head into overnight and into your Wednesday morning with scattered storms for the remainder of the week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Run. all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Compares Comcast Business 10 gig EDI with AT&T 1 gig.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Inside the Trane testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's, and we do appreciate you watching there on your device. As I'm moving my camera around, my camera got moved. It was a mistake. That's what happens when we work on things during the show. We're trying to improve the viewing experience. And what we did was we made the viewing experience worse. And so we're fixing it in show as opposed to. All right. Hey, listen, I hope you had a great Independence Day weekend. We are back another week of a broadcast here, and we're excited to be here. And not everybody, unfortunately, was excited about being back. Some of what was said over the weekend and some of the things that people did over the weekend was pretty reprehensible, to be quite honest with you. But, when you're a Democrat, that's reprehensible and policies and beliefs about the country, they seem to go hand in hand. I know that is hyperbolic. How dare I say things like that? Oh, well, I don't know. Well, let's go through some of the things that were said over the weekend and some of the things. I don't want to get too crazy about it. I don't want to go too far in because why should we give that much time to people that dislike the country so much? And I'll tell you why I'll give it a piece of time here, a portion of our broadcast time, and it's because these are the same individuals who want you to believe that what they're going to teach your kids in schools is not going to be anywhere near what this is going to be like. No. No, Democrats, liberals in this country, teachers' unions, those who are now saying they want to teach critical race theory in our schools, they're actually admitting to it, that they want you to believe that none of this will be talked about and described in such a way to make the country seem like it's less than, to make the country seem like it's a bad place. Well, then why did squad member Representative Cori Bush say American freedom is for white people, black people still aren't free? When they say that the 4th of July is about American freedom, remember this, the freedom they're referring to is for white people. This is a representative in the United States House of Representatives. That's where she lives. She lives in a country, in a place where black people are not free. This is what she is saying. And it's safe to say that there are many people who went onto Twitter after she put this out there this weekend and disagreed from all walks of life. Many people. You know, and again, I'm not going to give this too much time, but it is, number one, it's great to see so many people who would go against what she is saying, like I said, from all walks of life, and say, well, hold on a second. A lot of simple questions like, how did you get elected? Or maybe if you were to go in different communities around the country, a majority of the people, even this weekend, would show you, not talk about it, but actually show you that, yeah, it's a little different than that. But that's not the case at all. And how more and more we're starting to see who really is divisive in this country. Who is trying to bring the country together and who's trying to tear it apart. And look, you hear the president, like I played earlier, when you hear the president of the United States on July 4th and his message to the American people and how we're back and everything is really good and all the great things that are happening. And then ultimately, you know, he's talking about
America is coming back together.
In what way is America coming back together? Like what is it? What America coming together in what way? How are the Democrats bringing the country back together? The president saying
then there's simply no limit to what we can achieve.
There's no limit to what we can achieve, who can achieve.
When we see ourselves not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans.
When you see yourself not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans, what does that mean? What does that mean to Cori Bush? She's a representative. She's in the House of Representatives. What is she representing? Seriously. If you're a member of the squad, and the president of the United States says, you know, when we come together as Americans, not Republicans or Democrats, but Americans, there's no limit to what we can do. Well, what does that mean to a Democrat? What does that mean to Representative Cori Bush? What does that mean to AOC? What does that mean to Ilhan Omar? What does that mean to Rashida Tlaib? What does it mean to them to be an American? Like, what are you representing? Who and what is your oath of office to? I mean, these are simple questions. They're very simple questions. And when we see this and how individuals have described the weekend, how NPR described the weekend, and I'm going to get to that tweet that they put out. Maxine Waters. What did Maxine Waters say? July 4th, and so the Declaration of Independence says all men are created equal. Equal to what? What men? Only white men? Isn't it something that they wrote this in 1776 when African Americans were enslaved? They weren't thinking about us then, but they're thinking about us now. And she goes on to say a lot of other things. And again, This is, I'm genuinely asking the question. If you're a Democrat, if you're a Democrat who many teachers across the country are Democrats, the teachers' unions are left-leaning, mostly Democrats. If you plan on teaching our kids in school, what are you teaching about the country? What do you think it means to be an American? What is your ideal of what an American is and is not? Where did, okay, so Breitbart talked about what NPR said. The taxpayer-funded entity that has become a propaganda organ of the left. Penny Starr reports for Breitbart. I don't know if you heard this, but I'm wondering how many Democrats agree with this. Taxpayer-funded National Public Radio reluctantly repeated its tradition of staff reading the Declaration of Independence this year, framing its report to point out the quote-unquote flaws and racist elements of one of the most cherished U.S. documents. NPR included remarks from author David Troyer, said, but a deeper look at history also shows that one of the reasons why the colonists wanted to rise up against the British and wage the Revolutionary War was over the question of who would try to colonize native lands west of the colonies. It boiled down to power and money. The Crown wanted the money for themselves. The colonists understandably would have preferred to have had it for themselves. So the whole revolution was in large part fought over who got to take our stuff. They go on about stolen land. And this is what your taxpayers are paying, your taxpayer dollars are paying for. And again, it's just a simple question. It doesn't take a lot, even after the weekend, because, look, the news cycle changes. We're not going to be talking about this much more after today. But the fact of the matter is, what is it about Democrats? What does your love for country entail? And even more than that, if you're a representative, somebody who's been voted into office by your constituents, the people that you are there representing in Washington, D.C., what do you represent? The oath of office represents what to you? What does it mean? And some of the despicable things that have been said over the weekend. And again, it is something that continues to be a question that many people have, and it's very simple. There you go. There's the NPR quote. 245 years ago today, leaders representing 13 British colonies signed a document to declare independence. It says that all men are created equal, but women, enslaved people, indigenous people, and many others were not held as equal at the time. Had to do it. Have to do it. Some people might say, did you have to? And they would say, of course we have to. This is the moment in time where you do have to say it. But that is a lot of what we heard over the weekend. And again, I think you can't emphasize this enough. They weren't in your neighborhood. They weren't in my neighborhood. They weren't in Jake's neighborhood. They weren't in most neighborhoods around the country. Where, dare I say, most neighborhoods around the country do not look at this country that way, did not spend Independence Day that way, and do not think the way the left thinks. And just because they are a who knows how small a minority of individuals, probably less than 20% of the country, who have a very big megaphone through the mainstream legacy fake news media, whether it's local, state, or national, that gets the chance to repeat all of these things. They make it sound as if there are more of them than there are of you. And the fact is that they're not. It's just not. And they're trying, why do you want to tear the country apart? Why does it seem the Democrats want to start a race war? Oh, that's hyperbolic. Is it? Is it? You just heard what I just repeated from one representative, and she's just one of a few that we could probably play audio from again, and you know the names, so why are you denying it? Why don't you just answer the question? And if it's not what you believe, then why do you support them? 239-479-5592. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the big news on critical race theory that we're going to get to, the game has been given away. For the past few months, how many times have you heard it, everybody? Not happening in schools. It's ridiculous. It's Republicans. It's conservatives. It's their boogeyman. It's a conspiracy theory. It's Trump. All of that kind of stuff. And so where are we now? Well, wait till you hear where we are now. Plus, Alan West is running for governor in the state of Texas, so he's going to primary the governor now. What about that? And what are the implications there? Because, listen, the media is going to focus on Texas. But there's more to it, and it does speak to Florida as well. And I'll explain coming up. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Tuesday morning. Still watching a northbound closure along Alico Road right off the Corkscrew Road intersection east of I-75. Avoid the area. There was a deadly crash there overnight, and the road's been blocked off for about the past 5 or so hours, so you'll want to avoid that scene right now as the investigation is ongoing. In Collier County, we have a disabled vehicle blocking part of Airport Road at Golden Gate Parkway on the westbound on-ramp. Watch out for some slight delays around that area. Otherwise, looking good along 75. A very slick commute, though, out on the East Trail, heading through East Naples and toward 951 Collier Boulevard on and off of Marco Island. Just take it slow out there with Elsa coming our way. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
With Elsa set to remain offshore southwest Florida today, look out for tropical storm force conditions, especially across the coastal zones today. Gusty winds, storm surge, along with heavy rain, all being an issue, along with potential to see some isolated tornadoes as we head into tonight. Things calm down for your Wednesday with scattered storms returning to the forecast. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
You've heard it before. We beat the competition. So many businesses say that now. But how many companies actually ask you to call the competition and then compare their windows to Window World windows? We will come into your home, or you can come to our showroom, and we'll give you an honest, fair, free estimate of what it would take to upgrade your windows to more energy-efficient windows. No tricks, no high pressure. We want you happy with your new windows, not feeling like you were forced into buying them.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. We offer you top quality windows at the best price available with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business.
If something goes wrong with your new windows, we'll fix it, even if the neighborhood kids accidentally hit a baseball through it, or anything else. Window World quality windows, great price. Even hurricane-rated impact windows are available to offer an increased level of security to your home. Call Window World today. Window World, simply the best for less.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Announcer is a paid presenter.
Newsmax is now covering the Trump rallies live, but all other major networks won't carry them live. You can stay informed about Trump's rallies and big announcements by going to Newsmax.com and watching Newsmax TV. And make sure you sign up for Newsmax's Trump list. Get the latest on Trump directly on your cell phone. Just text the word REMIND to 39747. That's REMIND to 39747. And join the Trump list on Newsmax. Send REMIND to 39747 today.
Collier County residents, are you prepared for hurricane season? Get ready by bringing hazardous waste to a recycling drop-off center. Hurricane season has arrived, and the Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Division is here to help you prepare. Protect your home, family, and the environment from dangerous hazardous waste. Bring items like paint, gasoline, and batteries to a recycling center for environmentally safe disposal. Be prepared by cleaning out your home, yard, and garage. Bring items like propane tanks, oil, and electronics to a recycling center near you. Visit one of Collier County's recycling centers located in Naples, Marco Island, North Collier, northeast of Immokalee, and at the landfill. Recycling centers are open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. While you can drop off most items for free, small fees may apply for certain items. For more information on our rates and material accepted, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycles or call 252-7575. That's 252-7575. Be prepared for hurricane season by bringing your hazardous waste to a recycling center near you.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592. You ready? All right, I'm asking you this question. I'm being honest. And I want you to be honest. Help me out, Jake. You ready? Did you hear about the U.S. track superstar, Sha'Carri Richardson, who looks like she's going to miss the Olympics because she tested positive for marijuana? Did you hear about this?
Yep.
Okay. So she's going to miss at least part of the Olympic Games. So her primary track event. And I heard this story, and I guess I'm just going to ask a fundamental question, and I'm just going to allow you to expand on this, and then maybe have people call if they want to comment on it. So your first reaction when you heard about this: Sha'Carri Richardson, one of our best, the Olympic Games, failed a drug test showing positivity for THC. She said she was stressed out about the sudden death of her mother and decided to self-medicate. Should she go to the games or not?
What do you mean by go to the game?
In other words, should she be disqualified?
Play?
She tested positive for a banned substance.
Then no. Read the rules. It's straightforward. It's really not that difficult.
Help me out with this, because I don't want to say I'm struggling with it, but I did talk to some people about this over the weekend. I don't get it. THC is a banned substance. She's not supposed to be taking it if she's competing in a sporting event. She tested positive for it. People are like, well, I mean, it's been decriminalized. It's legalized in areas in the U.S. Why are we doing that? She shouldn't be banned because of something that's legal in the United States in some places. But that's fundamentally not the problem here. The problem is that if you're told you're not supposed to take something, if you want to compete, it's on the banned substance list, then shouldn't it be on the Olympic Committee to take it off the banned list, as opposed to people saying, well, it's not fair? And Jake just made the point. Like, what am I missing? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
It's just not, you're not supposed to do it.
And you can't compare him to Michael Phelps because Michael Phelps got in trouble as well. He didn't just get a slap on the wrist. He lost sponsorships. He lost money that was being provided by the Olympics, and he was banned for 3 months.
Yeah, and ultimately, people will make the decision about her after the fact. They'll decide whether or not this was something that was so egregious that they don't want her to be on.
And you also can't use the fact that it was in a legal state because of the fact that it's in the rules that you're not allowed to, legal state or not.
Right. So what's the story here? The story should be what? That the Olympic Committee,
someone broke the rules and got in trouble.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the story. There's nothing else to say. Arguing the point about whether or not it should be is one other thing. This story is somebody broke the rules, and that's the end of that, isn't it?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Legno Bastone Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Compares Comcast Business 10 gig EDI with AT&T 1 gig.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Tropical storm Elsa is near the Florida Keys. There's wind and rain there as the storm passes by.
The system has time to strengthen a little bit as it parallels the west coast of Florida in the next 24 hours before making landfall north of Tampa tomorrow morning. A few brief tornadoes are also possible across the Florida peninsula.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. The storm's on track to move up the East Coast throughout the week. President Biden delivers a coronavirus update this afternoon after meeting with his coronavirus response team.
We're hearing a lot more talk about the Delta variant, including in the states that are seeing an uptick in those COVID cases, including California, Utah, Missouri, and Arkansas. We are expecting the president will have more to say about all of this. He's going to be getting a new briefing on the pandemic as well as the vaccine rollout. The White House also making it very clear they are very comfortable with the vaccine stockpile the U.S. has. They're even sending more of those doses overseas.
Fox's Mark Meredith. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Alico Road now back open just north of the intersection of Corkscrew Road, east of 75, where we had a deadly crash overnight that was blocking the northbound lanes of Alico for about 5+ hours this morning. So at least you can pass through now right near that Corkscrew water treatment facility on Alico Road northbound. We also have a disabled vehicle in Lee County in the Olga area blocking an eastbound left lane along Palm Beach Boulevard near Brown Road, and another disabled vehicle in North Naples at Airport Road and Golden Gate Parkway westbound on the ramp there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for tropical storm conditions today, with Elsa set to remain just offshore of southwest Florida. Gusty winds with wind gusts, especially across the coast, between about 45 to 65 miles per hour. We're also going to be looking out for the threat of storm surge, with the storm surge warning in effect for Charlotte and Lee County, those coastal zones. Storm surge between 2 to 4 feet will be possible. Also look for a threat for some isolated tornadoes as those outer bands move in, packing some heavy rain with 1 to 4 inches possible in locally heavier spots. Things begin to wind down as we head into overnight and into your Wednesday morning with scattered storms for the remainder of the week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you could agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for a free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. My family and I are putting down roots right here in Southwest Florida and are so happy to be a part of this community. We hope to meet you out at one of the country clubs or walking the town center or out on one of the beautiful beaches or parks. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
Lusk, Draysites, and Tulisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Draysites, and Tulisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Draysites, and Tulisano. ldtlaw.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Keeping an eye on Elsa, Tropical Storm Elsa, the timeline from the Wink Weather Newsroom has now come out here, and bands of rain will be popping up this morning. We'll see some coastal gusts, 30 to 50 miles an hour, inland 20 to 35. And then later on this afternoon is when we'll see some of the widespread rain, and coastal gusts will be 45 to 65, inland 30 to 45. And then later on tonight, we'll have those bands of rain around again in 35 to 55, coastal gusts, 25 to 40 inland. And we've got a little bit of time. I hear things are starting to pick up just a little bit now. And looking at some of the radar, you start to see that, it's on its way. And they expect to see a little bit more development. But like we said, some of those winds, 30 to 45. And certainly keeping an eye on some of the isolated rain and certain spots that could be 4 inches plus. And everybody's prepared. I'm pretty sure of that. So we're already judging by last week and even before the holiday weekend. So maybe, you grab some burgers and some things to grill over the weekend, and you grab a couple more just to be sure. So we will keep an eye on Elsa as it's making its way through Southwest Florida. All right, a couple of things to mention this morning. One of them is that Alan West has decided that he is going to run for governor of the state of Texas. And he's going to go against Governor Greg Abbott in the primary. Pretty interesting because many people believe in and like Greg Abbott's conservative chops. There were some things that they're concerned about in Texas, one of them being the concerns about COVID and what the governor did at the time and not doing it the way it felt like Florida took the lead. DeSantis took the lead in the state of Florida, and Abbott kind of said, all right, that looks good to me, and kind of did that. Wasn't exactly opening up the state the same way we were doing here. People were a little frustrated with that and the rollout and how everything happened with COVID in the state of Texas. And so keeping an eye on that. And also some other things that have happened, the concerns about the security along the border there in Texas and what that's been like. And so you've got Alan West, who, by the way, is also well-liked in conservative circles, stepped down as chairman of the Texas GOP, spent a year, and a lot of people looking at what he was saying during that year. And so now we find out how all of this is going to play out. And some might suggest that one of the things that you have to worry about, if you're saying, well, why do we care about it here in the state of Florida? What's the big deal? The big deal is that there are people who will look at Texas as winnable. And the way to do it might be exactly what we're seeing, which is Alan West splits the vote in the primary, possibly becomes the person who will get the nomination for the race for governor in Texas, and not have the same kind of strength or cachet as Governor Abbott has, thereby giving room for somebody like Matthew McConaughey, who, I got to be honest, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Sometimes, well, I mean, this is the same Matthew McConaughey. Let's not get carried away. Everybody is jumping up and down about Matthew McConaughey. This is the same guy that was talking about how we need gun control. And, he was somebody who was more than happy to talk about how we have to do that. The taking away of guns. Right? Didn't he do that? Do I have that? I don't have that audio handy. I'll have to find it. But anyway, so what about Matthew McConaughey? Because he's somebody who's coming up as, he's not a Democrat, he's not a Republican. He's kind of this middle of the road guy. And I just wanted to play a little bit of what he said on this Independence Day weekend and give you a little bit of what he had to talk about.
Happy birthday, America. Yes, indeed, as we celebrate our independence today, as we celebrate our birth as a nation, a day that kickstarted a revolution to gain our sovereignty. Let's admit that this last year's trip around the sun was also another head scratcher.
Hey, by the way, if a politician says that, or somebody that wants to be a politician describes a year as a trip around the sun, is that endearing to you, Jake? If somebody says that, instead of saying this last year has been kind of crazy, they say, hey, this trip around the sun has been a little wild. Is the trip around, does that kind of bother? For some reason I don't know. I kind of,
Well, it does make it to where he is most definitely not a flat earther, because that is becoming ever more.
So your first reaction is he's not a flat.
Because you couldn't go around a flat.
Okay, well, the flat earthers don't exist. Nobody's doing that.
That's a lot more common than you think.
No, it's not. Maybe in the Twitchverse it is on your. Well, you're playing World of Blasting.
Somebody
Warcraft.
prove him wrong, and if you think that the world is flat, please call.
All right, they're not going to.
But let's also remember that we are babies. As a country, we are basically going through puberty in comparison to other countries' timelines.
There you go. So, all right. So we're just babies in other timelines. I'm not big on the whole looking at everybody else as a timeline. I'm not worried about the history of everybody else. I'm worried about us. There, okay.
And we're going to go through growing pains. We are going through growing pains. This is not an excuse to say this. It's just a reality. And this is good because we got to keep learning. We got to keep maturing. We got to keep striving. We got to keep climbing. We got to keep building. And we got to make sure we maintain hope along the way as we continue to evolve. Why? Because it's who we are. Why? Because the alternative sucks.
Yeah. What is maybe he does describe what the alternative looks like, or again, you're trying to look for that and pinpointing from a Matthew McConaughey, who we're told is really seriously taking on the idea of running for governor in the state of Texas, really pinpointing what this country is all about.
I believe that America and you and I believe we're an aspiration, all right? We're constantly in motion. We're on the way, trying to get wiser, trying to get braver, trying to dream more, trying to do more, trying to be more fair, take the right kind of responsibilities, to gain the right kind of freedoms. And we got to keep realizing that we're a place where our individual pursuits and desires need to be appreciative and supportive of our collective responsibilities as Americans, hence the United States of America.
What the heck is he just? What did he just say? What is that? I heard collective in there, and that's, when I hear the collective, I'm out. I'm not. I think individual is really where we want to be, not collective. But what does that even mean? I don't even want to play the rest of it. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, there was some that were focusing. I think someplace, he said, if we're all in this together, and if you don't purchase that, go someplace else. Move on. Go somewhere else. I don't think he means like move. But the point is that there is a lot of word salad in there, and I'm really sure I'm ready to eat. Unless it's like honey mustard dressing. Clearly, the finest of all condiments for a salad is a honey mustard dressing. Anybody can debate that all you want, but it's not ranch or blue cheese. Forget those. But anyway, the point is that you got Matthew McConaughey, and just because you have someone who is recognized in the movies and has played parts that you really like doesn't necessarily mean they're the ones that are going to be perfect for the position of governor of the state of Texas. But again, there's more to it, and now you get to the attacks against Allen West. And again, Allen West now is looking to primary. He's going to run for governor in the state of Texas. He's going to primary Governor Abbott. And there's a couple of different things about what has been happening in Texas that people are upset about. And leave it to the truth tellers to give us really what we need on these issues. Like Joy Reid from MSNBC. I can't even say it with a straight face, but that's where I'm going this segment. All right. So Joy Reid had a few things to say about Allen West, her thoughts about Allen West. And here's the problem. You can't just trust Joy Reid at all. Period. Full stop. You can't trust anything that's coming out of MSNBC or CNN for that matter. Full stop. You just can't. And so I'm only bringing this up because this is going to be part of the attacks against Allen West. This is going to be parts of the attacks against conservatives. And look, they love the idea that Governor Greg Abbott would be primaried. They love this. This is great. Trust me, this is good for the left. They think this is awesome. But not for the reasons that others would look at a race in a primary and say, listen, you got a strong governor. If he's primaried and nothing to see here, everything is fine because the strengths will come through. The attacks will be meaningless. They might actually hurt that individual. If you're trying to go after somebody like a DeSantis, you think you're going to primary him in the state on what? And a lot of it would be hyperbolic. So here's Joy Reid explaining why having Allen West run for governor in Texas is ridiculous.
Allen West was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs before Trump came along. He was saying take a bayonet and march to Washington because President Obama was there, and he's black. Okay, Allen West is.
Wait. Hold on a second. Can I start that again?
Allen West was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs before Trump came along. He was saying take a bayonet and march to Washington because President Obama was there, and he's black.
Okay, so Allen West was talking about being against Barack Obama because he was black. It wasn't what was it about Allen West and the reasons why he had issues with Barack Obama? Policies, right? He had problems with so that was a weird thing to say.
Okay, Allen West is now in Texas. He's now running against Greg Abbott because he doesn't think Greg Abbott is far right enough. After all that Greg Abbott has done. He has argued that Islam is not a religion, but a totalitarian, theocratic political ideology. He has suggested black communities were stronger and better during segregation. So he's anti-Dr. King.
Okay, whoa. So what is she talking about? Did he say that? Again, we're trying to get to the truth. Is it true? Did he say that? Is this something that Allen West said? She's making the claim he said.
And better during segregation.
Wait, say it again?
Stronger and better during segregation. So he's anti-Dr. King.
Okay, so families were stronger and better during segregation is what she's claiming that he said. So what she's doing is she's going back to an interview that Allen West did on Fox News back in 2016 during the Trump-Clinton, the general election, and was talking about the difference between the two. And here's what he said. Okay, specifically, here's what Allen West said on Fox News with regard to what Joy Reid was bringing up about it was better during segregation, families. Well, check this out.
They're not discussing the real issues. What they continue to do, especially on the case of the Democrat Party, the progressive socialist left, is they obfuscate, they deny, and they lie about the real issues. You know, we need to talk about the restoration of the family in the black community. When I was born in 1961, between 75 to 77% of the households had two parents. Today, it's at 24%. You can trace that right back to a failed policy from Lyndon Johnson, where the government provided checks to women who had children out of wedlock, as long as they did not have a man in the home.
That's part of it. Is he wrong? Are we allowed to talk about those issues? Allen West wants to talk about those issues. He's been talking about those issues for 5 years plus. And how much it has changed. But getting back to what Joy Reid was saying and her objection to Allen West when she says...
He has suggested black communities were stronger and better during segregation. So he's anti-Dr. King.
All right, so let's see exactly what he was talking about and put it in context to show that she's lying. Here you go.
What's your solution to that problem? Children out of wedlock or without two parents at home. What's your solution? Is it a withdrawal of the welfare state?
Well, yeah. I mean, Jason Riley wrote a great book. He's a Wall Street Journal editor, said, please stop helping us. You know, the black community was stronger, it seems, during the issues of segregation, when you had families that were intact, when you had communities that were standing up, when you had better education opportunities. I think that's another important thing.
That's a big difference in what she's saying. He's talking about the fact that there was a time when the family was strong. The community was united. The values were different. And how it was changed by a president and the decisions that he decided to make. And is he wrong? And it would be interesting to hear that debate. Now, Joy Reid is not going to debate Allen West on that, because all she would do would be shut him down and demagogue in all different kinds of ways. But the fact of the matter is that is a critical part of the discussion across the board is family, is the nuclear family, the one that One Black Lives Matter has described in the past about destroying. Pretty Marxist. When you don't have an intact nuclear family, it is amazing where you will go to get that feeling or to have that family the way it should be. And it's not going to be through a father in the home, but it might be to a government that is all-inclusive and tells you what to do and gives you the strength and the guidance that you should be getting from your dad, from a father, from a family, a unit that is together. What else did she say, by the way, about him?
He's called Democratic handouts, quote unquote, the most insidious form of slavery remaining in the world today. And he's viable, Susan, in your party. Thoughts?
He also believes in QAnon and succession.
Yeah. Okay. So she had somebody on who's supposedly a Republican and was there to help to bash, but she said
he's called Democratic handouts, quote unquote, the most insidious form of slavery.
All right. So what did Alan West say specifically?
When you look at the black community from a principle basis, not a party basis, it is conservative in nature. It is about faith. It's about family. It was about individual responsibility. It's about education. And in the case of my family, where we have 4 generations of military servicemen, it's about service to this country. So I think that when we have that principle discussion, we can get back to restoring the urban communities and ending this 21st century economic plantation, which has really happened over the last 50 years.
That is part of what he was talking about. And Joy Reid is offended by the fact that he would bring that up. But again, the debate should take place, right? We should be talking about that. I'm bringing this up again because for 2 reasons. Number one, there are people that are leaning on Matthew McConaughey as the guy in Texas who should be the voice, who should be the guy. And ultimately, you'll have Alan West and you'll have Governor Abbott in a primary who will be taking each other on, with the possibility of Matthew McConaughey coming along and sweeping in and taking the position of governor of the state because of the damage that could be done, which the media will love to hype up, and trying to make Alan West sound like he is somebody that he is not. And how the concern is that if you see this early on, that there may be a way to disrupt the conservative values of a governor or even in a state. Is it possible that we could see the same type of thing happen here, where a primary challenger would come along in the state of Florida to try and gum up the works? And that there would be enough people on the left that could try to find somebody who, by default, they look at DeSantis and say that this is somebody who is on the side. It's Trump 2.0, and we got to stop him. Can't have a Trump 2.0. And is there some kind of rhino sitting on the sidelines who would love to jump in and do that? Yeah. All right, 239-479-5592. Oh, look at the time. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, why didn't you tell me I was running long today? All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Inside the Trane testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service, so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Jason and Todd believe in value. They're direct diamond importers and hand select each diamond directly from the cutters. By cutting out the middlemen, the Diamond District offers the best quality diamonds at the lowest prices, and they pass that savings on to you.
At the Diamond District.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
What's that saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But people that love hard work and love creating with tools in their hands and can communicate with designers and artists. Someone that hears this and gets jazzed by the idea. This is one of those jobs where people love and don't call it work.
For more information on what it's like being a Closet Factory installer and if it's the perfect job for you, call today. 239-225-7235. 239-225-7235. Closet Factory is an equal opportunity employer.
Spencer Roach with an update on critical race theory, the latest attempt by the left to divide our country along racial lines by teaching kids to hate their country, hate themselves, and hate each other. It's total bullshit, and it's being promoted by leftist race baiters, peddled by the teachers union, and pushed into student textbooks. But on June 10th, Florida's Board of Education voted to ban critical race theory from being taught in public school classrooms, and you have my word that I'll file legislation to give this ban the force of law. I'm going to fight this state-sanctioned racism in every classroom, every courtroom, and every corner of the great state of Florida, because our children deserve nothing less. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be an American patriot, because we are the good guys. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never give up, never give in, never back down, and never forget that this is your government and they work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Starting to get slick out on I-75 in Collier County, especially on Alligator Alley. If you're getting ready to head out right now, expect to see some slowdowns and some wet conditions out on the roads south of Vanderbilt Beach Road, all the way from 41 through Collier Boulevard. Heading through Collier County right now and out toward Marco Island, Goodland, and Everglades City. Going to be a very wet drive with the outer bands of Elsa making their way now to southwest Florida. We're also watching a disabled vehicle heading through the Olga area of Lee County along Palm Beach Boulevard eastbound. A left lane is blocked right near Brown Road, right off of Old Olga Road, so just watch for some delays building up out there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for tropical storm conditions today, with Elsa set to remain just offshore of southwest Florida. Gusty winds with wind gusts, especially across the coast, between about 45 to 65 miles per hour. We're also going to be looking out for the threat of storm surge, with the storm surge warning in effect for Charlotte and Lee County, those coastal zones. Storm surge between 2 to 4 feet will be possible. Also look for a threat for some isolated tornadoes as those outer bands move in, packing some heavy rain with 1 to 4 inches possible in locally heavier spots. Things begin to wind down as we head into overnight and into your Wednesday morning with scattered storms for the remainder of the week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up, this message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
When it's hot, the last thing you want is your home's AC to quit on you. At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our team of comfort specialists take the frustration out of the equation. From simple repairs to more complex fixes, we'll get you cool and comfortable quickly. Call 855-1HOUR for $50 off your repair or visit onehourair.com and keep your cool. We're
Always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes, 844-WB-BUILT. WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy, 844-WB-BUILT. Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. It's the website. Steele has 3 E's. We always appreciate you watching the program. Coming up in just a couple of more minutes. All right, it has finally happened. We knew it was going to happen sooner or later. And so now we have it. Critical race theory proponents just gave the entire game away, everybody. It is on. It is on. How do the kids say it? It's on like Donkey Kong. Is that how they say it? No. What? That's what they say. I'm looking at Jake. That's what the kids say.
Most kids don't know what that is.
Are you sure about that? Actually, that's true. It's funny because my son was asking about that. Donkey Kong came up in a conversation with somebody, and he didn't know what it was. And so, that's just like one of those expressions where you don't have to know what Donkey Kong means or is. It's just a cool expression because that's what the kids say. All right, so we're going to get to what I'm talking about in just a second. All right, Casey Sherman was just on Wink News to give us an update as far as what was going on with Tropical Storm Elsa and what we can expect for the day today.
Prepare for some coastal flooding. We have the potential of seeing some localized flooding. Flood watches remain in effect for all these areas in green for flooding due to rainfall and not the ocean water. Tornado risk is a factor that we'll be watching all day long and really all night long with these bands that'll be moving across the area. It is fairly limited. However, we've already seen a tornado warning earlier this morning, so you need a way of getting those warnings, whether that be your app, your Wink News weather app, or even a weather radio. So rainfall, 1 to 4 inches. Localized spots of over 4 inches will be possible. Again, it's really our wind forecast that we continue to increase with that closer track. Coastal zones, 30 to 45 mile per hour sustained winds as we head into this afternoon. Gusts between 45 to 65 miles per hour. Inland areas not as windy. Some gusts, though, between 30 to 45 miles per hour will be possible. surge, as we talked about, 1 to 4 feet at high tide. Look out for coastal flooding. A few tornadoes possible, spotty power outages, beach erosion, and high surf. Again, we have seen much worse here in Southwest Florida. However, today is going to be bringing a day of impacts that you want to be prepared for. Wet, windy conditions and that storm surge potential.
There's Casey Sherman. She was just on Wink News a little while ago to let everybody know the latest on Tropical Storm Elsa, and we keep an eye on it as the morning progresses, and we'll start to see and feel more of the effects, and that's coming up throughout the day. So make sure you keep listening, and we'll have those updates for you as the day moves on. All right, 239-479-5592. So here you go. We knew this was going to happen sooner or later. The truth was going to have to come out. And the truth on critical race theory has come out. That now the proponents have just given the entire game away, as Red State put it. It's a fact. They're doing it. They want to do it. They want to teach it. And it's the arrogance now of what teachers, what the unions are telling you now. Not you. They're going to teach your kids. You don't have the opportunity to teach your kids. No. The unions are going to tell the teachers now in school districts across the country what they should be doing. And the plan now is out there in the open. Over the past few months, this battle has been raging. People have been talking about it. The left in this country has tried to spin it. They've tried to make it sound like you're just a bunch of conspiracy theory knuckleheads. How do I know? Because it was the former Virginia governor, McAuliffe, who was talking about this not too long ago. Remember, it was a Trump thing, conspiracy theory.
All the Republicans are talking about like critical race theory, and they're making this huge deal about it. And it's all of the conversation in the news with Virginia. Like, what are you going to say to all those people making education about that?
That's another right-wing conspiracy.
Okay.
This is totally made up by Donald Trump and Glenn Youngkin. This is who they are. It's a conspiracy theory.
That's it. It's made up. It's a conspiracy theory. This whole critical race theory, you all are wasting your breath and you're wasting your time. It doesn't exist until you find out not only does it exist, but there's more to it. More and more conservatives have gained ground. More and more families have said enough is enough. We are standing up and we have something to say about how our kids are going to be educated. You, the unions, don't get to do this. We do this. You don't make these decisions. We, the parents, make the decisions. And all the gaslighting and all of the things that they're not trying to teach racist ideology. That's not what it's about. This is a joke. How dare you say this? Well, guess what, everybody? Guess what? Here it is. The nation's largest teachers union has approved a plan to promote critical race theory in all 50 states and 14,000 local school districts. The argument, and Christopher Rufo talked about this. Christopher Rufo has been doing amazing work, really uncovering and opening up our eyes to what is happening with critical race theory currently. The argument that critical race theory isn't in K through 12 schools, that's it. It's dead. From now on, nobody can say it. Nobody can talk about it that way. Nobody can say anything like it doesn't exist. All the schools in Southwest Florida, all the principals in different schools around town, everybody who has been talking about the fact that it's a known fact that critical race theory is not being taught in our schools. Now you don't say anything. Now you can stop talking. Because it's out there plain for everybody to see. They've talked about a battle plan of what they're going to do specifically. And over the weekend, the NEA, the National Education Association, held its annual representative assembly, delegates across the United States voting on their priorities and allocating funding for the school year, with the ideology of critical race theory taking center stage. They want it taught. 3 million public school employees it represents. Approved funding for 3 separate items related to the issue. Increasing the implementation of critical race theory in K through 12 curricula. promoting critical race theory in local school districts, attacking opponents of critical race theory, including parent organizations and conservative research centers. As the New York Post put it, it's a significant reversal. For the past month, liberal pundits, activists have insisted that critical race theory is not taught in K through 12 schools. It was always a bad faith claim. Everybody knows it's been making inroads. Everybody knows it's there. And now we know that the National Education Association, a union that is 3 million public school employees large, is saying that, oh, yes, we will. And what do you think the teachers in Southwest Florida are going to say about that? What do you think that the school board members are going to say about that? What do you think their decisions are going to be on this? What do you think about all of this? 239-479-5592. Listen, the left is losing the war on critical race theory, and they know it. And now the only way to step it up is to get in your face and for these unions to say, bring it. This is what they're doing, everybody. They're not listening to you. They're not listening to the parents. They're not listening to the concerned citizens here in Southwest Florida or across the country. What they're doing is they're pushing back and they're saying, not only are we going to make sure that it's taught in schools, not only are we now admitting that it exists and it will be in our schools, but they're willing to spend money, tens of thousands of dollars of money to go after those who would push back against it. They passed a resolution to research the organizations who oppose critical race theory, including grassroots parents organizations, and provide its operatives resources for attacking them. The teachers' unions are going to use union dues originating from taxpayers to attack public school parents who oppose the indoctrination of their kids. You paying attention now? For all of you who have been saying that it's not true, are you paying attention now? Are you paying attention to some of what those in our own school district have been saying about the fact that we can't be world class, a world-class school district, unless we're teaching it? Betsy Vaughn, a school board member here in Lee County.
Well, I'll share my political beliefs. I'm a Democrat. I'm a liberal. I believe that critical race theory is very important, and that if we lose sight of that as educators, we can't be a world-class school system.
This is your school system, everybody. This is somebody who is on the school board saying this about what has to happen here, and now has the backing of the unions. Now has a 3 million strong teachers union that's going to back them up. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to push back against the union? They're going to push back against the unions. By doing so, they push back against you. Like, you don't have a say in this. Like, it's going to be taught. And now it's open. It's out there. We know it's going to be happening. And now more than ever, you have to decide whether or not this new school year coming up is going to be one where you're going to accept this. Where you're going to sit back and believe those who've been telling you that it doesn't exist, it's not being taught in schools, it's not that big a deal, you need to stop. Why would you attack conservative groups who disapprove of the indoctrination of our kids and the teaching of CRT? Why would you do that? Why would you be willing to spend money to attack people? Who does that? Why would you do that if it's not that big a deal, if it doesn't exist? 58% of Americans oppose critical race theory, including 72% of independents who believe teaching it in schools is bad for America. That's according to a recent YouGov survey. I might say the numbers are even more than that. Yeah. This is not good, everybody. This is the only good news in this story is that now the unions are making it known that they are going to fight to teach your kids, to indoctrinate your kids into critical race theory. That they're willing to fight. Are you? Are you willing to push back? Because they are going to be bullies like you've never seen. You're gonna be bullied over this? You're not going to be. All right, 239-479-5592. I know there's a lot of, and it's happening in all kinds of ways and subtle ways. And I know Josh and Cape Coral wanted to comment on this. Hey, Josh.
Hey, good morning, Drew.
Good morning.
So I was scrolling through Netflix. In the top 10, there's a cartoon now, We the People. Essentially, in my opinion, I have not watched it, but just based off the trailer, I'd encourage you to check out the trailer and see if it doesn't kind of line up with some of the critical race theory talk. Now it's rated top 10 in the United States on Netflix, and that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I canceled my Netflix subscription a long time ago. I don't partake in any of that, so it would be hard for me to see. But I would believe it. I don't know what the details are of the program, Josh, but know this, that there are a lot of things that are going on right now where we're indoctrinating our kids. There are a lot of things that are going on right now in cartoons and the media and a lot of things that movies and TV shows are doing to try to normalize certain things that many people don't believe should be normalized. And thanks for the call. I appreciate it. That don't believe that it's their place to put that in front of kids, where parents should be the ones to make the decision. And you know, many people say, well, why don't you just do what you just talked about? Just don't subscribe. Don't watch the shows. You know, my family in particular, my son's not in a public school. We homeschool. Why do you care? You're out of the system. I care because everybody else is in the system. And I don't want my son growing up in a world and living on a street where he's going to be basically on an island because every kid has been indoctrinated to think that somehow he's some kind of racist, somehow that so many of you are the problem and the country is a problem, and fundamentally the only way for this country to be better is to dismantle it. That as much as you think, as some of these leftists believe, that if you go along with this ideology and this notion of critical race theory, that somehow you'll be able to be better. The whole idea here is that you're just as part of the problem as those that would push back against it. It'll never be right. It'll never be perfect. Do you see that? It's like, how can you look at an ideology that's telling you that, and a theory that's telling you that because fundamentally this country has been a white supremacist nation, has been a racist nation since the beginning, since its founding, and our founders were that way, and all the structures that are in place have made you into who you are today, even if you don't believe and you don't think you are, that secretly, because of the indoctrination of these individuals of white supremacy, that you don't even realize it, that it's never going to go away. That how even dismantling it into what form does it get better? Bob's at Cape Coral. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Drew. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
It's interesting to me, and I wondered what you thought of the logic of this statement that if union dues for teachers, which are obviously paid for by tax dollars, are being used to suppress, silence, bully an alternative voice, in other words, to deny some sort of representation Aren't we back to almost the original foundings of this country, that's a form of taxation without representation?
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of people, push back against unionization in a lot of industries. Like, why do I have to pay dues to something that I don't believe in? I think the bigger story, Bob, is this. Where are the teachers pushing back against this and saying, I don't want any part of it? We're constantly told that we have to defund police departments because police are bad and there's a lot of bad cops and we got to get rid of the bad cops. And people would say, yeah, I agree. If there's nothing more than good cops dislike than bad cops. They would like to see nothing more than for them to get to be gone as well. But they are the exception, not the norm. And that there would be, where are the good cops standing up, let's say? Well, I would say, where are the good teachers or those that see the indoctrination and are standing up and saying, we're not going to take it and form a group, an organization to push back against the unions? And that's how strong they are, right, Bob? That's how strong these unions are. That they have silenced the teachers that are out there, unless the majority of teachers agree with this. They've been brainwashed into thinking that this somehow is about empathy, that this somehow is about understanding. It's about learning about each other. It's about not being afraid to teach about slavery. That we do it all the time. Nobody is saying that we shouldn't be teaching it or talking, but that's the lie. That's not what it is. They bought into a lie, and that's the problem. And Bob, I appreciate the call. Chris is in Naples. Quickly before we go to break.
Hey, Dre, I just wanted to agree that, you're absolutely right. But also at the same time, in a time where we don't need divisiveness, we're implementing it by critical race theory. It's not too far removed from Mao Zedong and what he did in China. Instead of separating people by class, you're going to separate people by race. Well, what does that teach?
Yeah, and Chris, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Where's the organization of teachers who are saying, no, I'm not doing this. I refuse. I'm not going to do this. And
it's the get along to go.
Is that what it is? I mean, is it because they don't want to be seen as somebody who, because that to me is abhorrent, because what you're saying is, I really don't care about the kids. Like, the kids have nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. It's all about a paycheck. That's what this is.
I would also say too that it's also, they're also afraid to lose their jobs. Because, look at the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's about a paycheck, right? Right. But listen, I believe in my heart of hearts that there are very few professions like teachers. Because really, truthfully, and thanks for the call, by the way, Chris, I appreciate it. I know we have to go to break. I'm going to be late. I'm sorry. I got to finish this point, and then we'll go. I know, you hate me. I know Jake hates me when I do this. I really, truly believe in my heart that teachers are one of those few professions that really, truthfully, this is about caring for kids. They want to teach kids. They want to focus on children. It's not about anything else but the kids, that there is this love and passion for one day looking and saying, I had a part in helping to shape this child's life. There's something that is so beautiful about that. Where are you? This is not shaping children to be better. This is not shaping a society to be better unless you believe a lie. This is not good. It's not positive. How is it that we're pushing back so much against this? We all know this, and you don't see this unless you agree with it, in which case, then it is about the paycheck. Because if you truly care about the kids, you wouldn't do this. Come together. Just come together and stop this. Help to stop this. All right, we got to go. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News. You ready? All right, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News.
Right, all along. Let's talk about where you walk. Trey Riedel here for Brits Carpet Outlet. What you walk on in your own home is entirely up to you. It should look good, of course, but it should work for the makeup and size of your family, whether your kids, quite frankly, have 2 legs or 4. One of the most versatile floors that you can buy is called the Luxury Structured Vinyl Plank. It's from Brits, and with hundreds of colors and styles, it can match any decor and is completely kid-proof, which is kind of important for us. Plus, it's waterproof and pet-proof. Easy to install yourself, or you can always count on Brit's professional installers. Now, if you prefer carpet, they just received a truckload of carpet, so it is in stock and ready for quick installation at prices that simply cannot be beat even by the big box stores. So to show their appreciation, now through July 17th, Brit's Carpet will be giving 15% off of all regular priced carpet and flooring to all active and retired military and law enforcement. Shop Brit's in Fort Myers and Cape Coral, and be sure to tell them that Trey Radel sent you.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. After all we've been through, isn't it time to focus on what really matters, living your best life? There are a lot of moving pieces when it comes to investment and retirement planning. It's important to get it right, and we can help. AnnexWealth.com is the place to start. Click the Get Started button. Put a pro on your side with a local, fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management, AnnexWealth.com.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you? O'Reilly.
This is Claudia's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
I had just moved to a new city and barely even knew where the grocery store was yet. When my car wouldn't start one morning, I didn't know who to ask about local shops. But I remembered a name from back home, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I called and they pointed me to a great mechanic just down the street. Now, I feel a little more at home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free total inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free total inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free total inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Saturday, July 10th in downtown Fort Myers, join the huge America First Rally. Featured speakers include Florida's conservative journalist Brendan Leslie, editor-in-chief of Unbossed Reporting, plus Brian Gamble of the Red Pill Roadshow, conservative influencer Frank Valentine, and Michael Thompson, chairman of the Florida Conservative PC. It will be the culmination of 5 different Trump-trained caravans. For caravan information, go to thefloridaconservative.com.
Paid for and approved by the Florida Conservative PC, 133 Harbor Drive, Venice, Florida, 34285.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Watching a crash along Daniels Parkway right near I-75. Look out for some activity as deputies are trying to get that cleared up right now. Clear along the rest of the interstate, but it is a very slick commute throughout Collier County along 75, actually all the way from the coast through Golden Gate Estates, throughout Collier County, down to Marco Island, and along the East Trail toward Everglades City. So take it slow and be extra cautious out there on the morning commute as Elsa makes its way to Southwest Florida. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look out for tropical storm conditions today, with Elsa set to remain just offshore of Southwest Florida. Gusty winds with wind gusts, especially across the coast, between about 45 to 65 miles per hour. We're also going to be looking out for the threat of storm surge, with the storm surge warning in effect for Charlotte and Lee County, those coastal zones. Storm surge between 2 to 4 feet will be possible. Also look for a threat for some isolated tornadoes as those outer bands move in, packing some heavy rain with 1 to 4 inches possible in locally heavier spots. Things begin to wind down as we head into overnight and into your Wednesday morning with scattered storms for the remainder of the week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now, you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 System Saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed. If your AC breaks within 6 months of the maintenance, we will credit the payment towards any repair.
Island Air also offers free second opinions. Let us review your quote for any service, replacement, or repair for your peace of mind.
IslandAirFL.com. That's IslandAirefL.com. IslandAirefL.com or call 239-645-4668. That's 239-645-4668. License number CAC 057544.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Compares Comcast Business 10 gig EDI with AT&T 1 gig.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. All right, we keep an eye on Elsa and the timeline as we're starting to see some of the bands of rain coming in. Coastal gusts 30 to 50 miles an hour and inland gusts about 20 to 35. That'll take us right to the afternoon, about 45 to 65 mile an hour gusts, 30 to 45 inland. And widespread rain, tornadoes possible, so be on the lookout for that. And certainly we keep an eye on some possible flooding with 1 to 4 inches of rain, isolated 4 inches plus, and flooding in certain spots, coastal flooding. We keep an eye on everything that's going on with Tropical Storm Elsa as it makes its way through Southwest Florida. So keep it right here as we'll continue to get updates throughout the morning and throughout the day. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to MoranWM.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Over the past year, we've lived through some of our darkest days. Now I truly believe, I give my word as a Biden, I truly believe we're about to see our brightest future.
He gives his word as a Biden. What is the Biden word worth these days? Do we have a value on that? There's the president of the United States, Joe Biden, who during Independence Day and talking about the country and Republicans and Democrats coming together. When we do, as Americans, we can get anything done. Of course, I wonder what Democrats think about this America and the America that they're looking for, especially when you're considering about critical race theory in our schools and Democrats and left who love the idea of teaching that to our kids and what they think America is and isn't. There he is. He's given a word as a Biden. I don't know what that's worth. I wonder if he said the same thing to some other world leaders in the past and some of the things that he gave word on with regards to the things that China. I don't know. Is that let's move it on.
Number 4.
Since Friday, Fox 32 Chicago reports 14 people killed and 74 others shot over the holiday weekend thus far. Chicago stats will include Monday. Among those shot were 2 officers trying to disperse an Independence Day gathering. Police Superintendent David Brown.
Not sure if they were targeted or whether this was people celebrating, shooting in the air or shooting indiscriminately.
I just have to stop. So just so everybody understands, there were 90 people shot over the 4th of July holiday weekend in Chicago. And 14 deaths. I just wonder, number one, how much longer this can possibly go on, and we blow it off like it's just an average every day in Chicago. And this has to stop. Recognizing who's in charge and why they haven't done anything about it, especially when they continue to say that the city is getting safer, it's better, which is a flat-out lie. And then defunding the police, crime in general. They have consequences in 2022 and 24, and I've made this known on a couple of different occasions. That crime is going to be, and across the country what we're seeing is going to be one of the top priorities. The safety and security of citizens in their communities is going to be one of the top priorities coming up, I'm telling you.
Number 3.
Pretty amazing stuff. A viral video. Walmart shoppers spontaneously singing the Star-Spangled Banner over the weekend in Texas. Impromptu. A woman just decided to start singing it. People stopped. Just actually stopped in their tracks. Stopped and turned and sang along, hand on their heart. And I bring this up because, obviously, because it's incredible. It's great to see. And dare I say, over this Independence weekend, I think we realize more than ever, there are more people who do that and believe that about the United States and believe in this country and would be willing to stop and take a minute and pause and show their love for country than there are those that are continuously trying to divide us. There's less of them and more of us. They're trying. They'll only succeed if you do nothing.
Number 2.
And in place of old-fashioned love of America, the Biden administration has new rules pushing hateful Marxist critical race theory into our children's schools and into our military. The poisonous left-wing doctrine is flagrant racism. It's plain and simple. It's pure, plain racism. It has no place in our schools, in our military, or in our country. When we take back Congress, Republicans must defund immediately critical race theory in our military.
That is the former President Trump in Sarasota. Tens of thousands who showed up for that event. It was pretty incredible to see the crowd still out there and talking about critical race theory. And he sees it in the military and some of the things that we're hearing about where we all see it. And this has to stop. And even with the news that just came out over the weekend, that we're hearing more and more people being vindicated because now we're hearing about critical race theory and the unions, the NEA, the nation's largest teachers union, just giving the game away and saying, we want it taught in all 50 states, 14,000 local school districts. Hey, all you teachers that are out there that object to this, are you going to push back against the school board and help us to stop this being taught? Or do you think this is a good thing, critical? Do you even know what it is?
Number 1.
With the most recent hack by the Russians, would you say that this means
We're not sure it's the Russians.
Okay, with
I got a brief as I was on the plane. That's why I was late getting off the plane. I got a brief and
Great.
all right.
Would you like your receipt? Do you know who it might be, sir?
I'll be in better shape to talk to you about it.
Yeah, you know that awkward moment when a reporter is asking about this hack. Again, another hack that happened. Many businesses hacked over the weekend, and the concerns about whether or not it was a Russian hack of these businesses. And when asked about it, the president of the United States, while grabbing himself some ice cream, 2 scoops, that he's got to reach into his jacket to figure out what to say to the reporter.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, it was just one of those awkward moments over the weekend. But it seemed to be a lot of that. All right, 239-479-5592. Yeah, I don't even want to go more into some of the outrageous, abhorrent things that some on the left, Democrats, the Squad, Cory Bush, Representative Cory Bush, House of Representatives, talking about when they say the 4th of July is about American freedom. Remember this, the freedom they refer to is not for white people. Maxine Waters, who had her own bit to say about this country. I don't even want to get into that. Because we see that there are more people that are beginning to come out because they know that their voices will be magnified to say these things. When I truly believe in my heart that the majority of this country doesn't believe that at all. Some of the things that were said were pretty disgusting over the weekend. But again, you had time to spend with family and friends. You witnessed it for yourself. The love for the country. And dare I say, there's a whole lot more of us than there are of them saying and talking the way they're talking. And we're not going to let these unions come along and indoctrinate our kids in critical race theory, and they can say whatever they want, the largest teachers union approving this plan, but we can push back as well, and we will. All right, some of the other things that we're finding out about. Hey, did you know that there's a new report that says that when you look at the robust job growth that's happening in this country, that blue states run by Democrats are doing a better job than red states and Republican and conservative governors and state legislatures? Did you know that this new report said that blue states are doing better than red states? That's funny. No, it didn't. Personal finance company WalletHub combined several data sources, including change in unemployment from May 2021 to May 2019, change in unemployment from May 2020 and January 2020, and non-seasonally adjusted continued claims from May 2019 to 2021 to rank order the 50 states and D.C. for labor market improvement. And guess what, everybody? 9 of the top 10 performing states are led by, come on, what is it? Give it to me. Republicans. That is correct. Every single one of the bottom 10 states are led by Democrats, as you can probably imagine. We said this when it comes to COVID-19 and the recovery. It was the Republican-led states. It was those that lifted UI benefits that said, look, there are a lot of jobs out there, time to get back to work. And the lockdown-induced recession, that it was going to be the red states that were going to prove to be the states that were going to begin making things better, bringing us together. And now we certainly have the proof. Again, when the president of the United States is saying, we're back, everybody.
We're back traveling again. We're back seeing one another again. Businesses are opening and hiring again. We're seeing record job creation and record economic growth. The best in 4 decades, and I might add, the best in the world. Today, all across this nation, we can say with confidence, America is coming back together.
I might say, despite all the things that this administration is doing to try to stop that from happening, this idea that it's because of government that we're coming back. That's kind of funny, right? That it's the government that's doing it. Without the government, there'd be no way we'd be able to get back. No way. We couldn't do it. Yeah. Not really. So, of course, we already played that before, the giving his word.
I give my word as a Biden. And I truly believe we're about to see our brightest future.
Yep. And again, I'm asking this question when Joe Biden says,
when we see ourselves not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans, then there's simply no limit to what we can achieve.
Are there Democrats who really care about seeing themselves as Americans? And if you think that's a hyperbolic statement, and how dare I say that, I'm asking you Democrats, what do you think about this country? Do you love this country? And if you do, what do you love about it? Might need some help with that. Just asking. Coming together how? Who's coming together? What Democrats are coming together with Republicans who love this country? All right. We got to go. All right, we keep an eye on Elsa, certainly tropical storm Elsa that is making its way into southwest Florida, as we'll begin to see now more bands of rain and widespread rain coming through the afternoon with coastal gusts 45 to 65, inland gusts 30 to 45, and keeping an eye on certainly the potential for flooding around southwest Florida. Stay here. You'll get more updates. We'll have more for you. And Glenn Beck next. All right. Yeah, you ready to get out? Get a forecast right now for the remainder of the day. Find out more about this. All right. Let's find out what's going on right now.
And the latest update from the National Hurricane Center is in on Tropical Storm Elsa, as it has maintained much of its strength and speed. It's continuing to the northwest at 12 miles per hour with 60 mile per hour sustained winds. Latest model guidance suggests that it may be a little bit closer to the coastline here in southwest Florida, but the impacts will likely remain close to the same, if not just a smidge larger. We're